Do you know what today is? Anybody? Yes, it's April 20th. 420. Yeah, that's true. Do you know it's 4/20/24? Do you know it's 4/20/24? Or backwards, 4/20/24. It's a palindrome. Same number forward and backward. Today, and all the way until 4/2/9/24. Hey cha ote. We're talking about the fact that we are in a palindrome beyond a week. My brain wants to make up a word for a 10-day stretch. It's not right like a dozen and a baker's dozen. So what are we going to call it? There's a week and a somebody's week and a something week. Help me figure out a new term for it. I like making shit up. Did you also know that in the Netherlands, they have a yearly competition and give out a reward to the person who comes up with the best new word to add to the dictionary? Today is quite an interesting energy. I don't know if you've already felt it, but I definitely have. There is new movement. There is an expansiveness. There is a kind of reassurance that seems to be floating around in the air. And it feels really nice. Almost as if there is more energy available for opportunity. The opportunity to see the forest for the trees. To hear the birds instead of listening to yourself bitch in your own head. The opportunity to make up an entirely new word, or term, or way of being. One thing about these palindrome days, like a lot of other things us mystical people like to talk about, it's great for manifestation. There is an interesting amount of space available, an interesting expansion. Maybe I just need to blame the mudra, because our mudra is the mudra for opportunity, right? So maybe I've just been doing this mudra so much that my whole universe is like, the world is your oyster. Make up words if you feel like it. The universe will nod in agreement. Grand Rising, Citrine, how are you? Thank you, Heather. So today, hello. For those of you who are new here, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. And I am your shenanigan shaman. So please don't expect to take yourself too seriously in here. Laughter really is some of the best medicine. And play is one of the most powerful ways to create space within us. How are you, Heather? So, this is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Some deity, some religious something or other, some doctrine. Nope. Devotion to you. Devotion to self-care. Devotion to the first person who needs your love. Devotion to the first person who needs your care and attention. Devotion to the first cup that needs filling, because when we fill this cup, it naturally overflows into those around us. So, in our Bhakti Bites classes. Coming home to myself. Good, Heather. It's a journey, isn't it? It's a fucking journey. Welcome! Officially 36 today. Yay! I love that. We were talking about ages with my friend this morning. We were talking about forgetting our ages. Have you forgotten how old you were yet? I feel like even video games can be helpful, and play is one of our purposes. There is actually a large body of study that's being built upon right now around video games and around the possible positive outcomes that can be had with them. Yes, there is positive benefit, right? But everything in some level of moderation. Because if we go too far, too deep down into a rabbit hole and we use these tools to deny our true needs, then they're no longer healthy. But if you are using a tool appropriately to deal with a particular issue, it's the same thing as using a pill. It's the same thing as using a mudra. It's the same thing as using food. It's the same thing as using mantras. It's the same thing as praying. It's the same thing as using a tool to move you through whatever it is you're going through. The kicker is to ask yourself, how does this tool otherwise affect me? Many of us use alcohol, right? Or smoking pot to chill out, to go to sleep, to deal with anxiety. The question is that hurting you more than the thing? Corazon, ayahuasca is a very powerful tool. And I will say what I said to someone. I met someone in an ayahuasca ceremony years ago, a decade ago probably now, who had been following this church, this traveling church around and doing ayahuasca with them on a regular basis because he was receiving a great deal of insight and deeper understanding through these sessions. And that was beautiful and powerful. But as we sat in the ceremony itself, his, 15th in the last year or two, he said this to me, and in that space, we are open channels, right? And I returned to him speaking through me. These are windows, not doors. We have to recognize that a lot of times dying also helps us get perspective. Yes, it does, my friend. It really does. So does trauma. Pain offers us different perspective. That if we choose to carry it with us and use it appropriately moving forward, it can make us much more wise. It can lead us to our wisdoms. It can lead us to deeper understanding and a profound way of being. And within everything there is balance. There is the need for balance. There is the need for... Yeah, of course, Corazon. Welcome. Don't let it become a vice. Even, you guys have heard me say, even meditation, even mindfulness can become a toxic thing. Going to the gym can become a toxic thing if you do it to such a degree that it denies your needs. Or worse, if you use the time, for example, in meditation, thank you, Citrine, if you use the time in meditation when you are intentionally sinking deeper into your lower recesses of self, into your subconscious self, sinking into your body, sinking into the vulnerable places within your being, if you use your time in that space to bitch at yourself, to chide yourself, to shame yourself, to tell yourself how shitty you're doing when you're meditating, you will create more suffering, cause yourself pain, an unnecessary amount, right? Pain, we can even say, is necessary. Suffering is a choice. Hey Daniel, good morning. So, in Bhakti Bites, we practice a mindfulness tool, a bite-sized mindfulness tool that you can take with you and use anywhere you are. And we practice it in a meditation. On Mondays, we sit with just our mindfulness tool. This week, our mindfulness tool is the Kaleshvara Mudra. So the Kaleshvara Mudra, on Monday, we just sat with the mudra and nothing else. This is the mudra for opportunity. Kaleshvara, however, Kaleshvara also translates to Lord of Time, while this mudra soothes the heart, treats the heart and the pericardium. It calms the mind, clears the head of obsessive thoughts. It helps us break negative patterns and addictive behaviors. Hold on, dogs need to come in. Good inside. Come on. This mudra helps us. Okay, my live has been age restricted because I let the dogs in the house. Sorry guys, I guess you gotta be 18 and over to hang out with mudras and dogs. Man, okay, so this mudra, the mudra for opportunity, the Lord of Time mudra. When sitting with this mudra, I saw the heart in the way that the heart is a kind of timepiece. Your heart is keeping time with a steady, actually not a steady rhythm. A healthy heart does not have a consistently steady rhythm. Sir, young man. So your rhythm, general rhythm, right? Average rhythm. This rhythm keeps time for you, for your entire life. And when I change the quality of my heartbeat, I can change the quality of my experience of time. And when I align everything else in my reality about myself with this timepiece, then I align myself with the greater cycles of time, literally stepping into the flow of time. Yes, they did allude to that in The Wizard of Oz. And again, in Return to Oz with TikTok and his heart here. Time. The river of time flows not only around you, but through you. What is your heart? Sure, it pumps blood through your body, yes. Your heart is also something I've lovingly termed the transfer center. This comes from meditations. This comes from meditations where I invite in the solar energy. Thank you, friend. Solar, masculine, yang energy, right? Yang energy. Pull that down from the cosmos. Where does that energy come into? It comes into our energy body, into our central energy channel. And what we pull up from below, from the earth, is this Gaia, this divine feminine, this earthly energy, this material realm and ethereal realm, the solid finite and the fluid infinite. What do? They come together into your heart and birth creation and manifest into creation. Every heartbeat echoes through this physical finite reality because it is the nature of my current present experience. It's part of the way that we interact with our world. And when my heart is literally made up of something called defibrillator cells. If you take a defibrillator cell out of my heart and put it over here in a petri dish all by itself, it starts to die. It starts to atrophy. It starts to go, oh fuck, I'm all by myself. Now if I put that defibrillator cell back with healthy defibrillator cells, yes, I know you like that, healthy defibrillator cells, what happens? It begins to entrain. It begins to match up. What does this tell us scientifically? Because we've been studying this stuff recently. Hey, Angelina. That when my heart and your heart entrain, we connect. We find the same rhythm. We become familiar with each other on an energetic level. And this isn't something woo-woo, chat, chit-chat, whatnot. This is something that we are actually studying and have been studying for some time. If you're interested in learning more about the heart and the purpose of the heart and what the heart actually does, is go look into research the Heart Math Institute. Angelina, yes, I teach yoga. Today we are doing Bhakti bites. So we're doing a mudra and a meditation. So let's slip into our mudra and meditation because I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to do this one with you guys all week long because it kind of was in line with what I received when I was in meditation with this mudra. Cha Ote, what are we supposed to do with our energy bodies? I don't know. What do you want to do with your energy body? Is there a thing to do with your energy body? I think there is. And probably the most foundational piece of all the work that I do and the way that I approach all of this is with the understanding that by affecting our energy body, we can more effectively treat all layers of self. I can treat my emotions, and that's a layer that if I treat my emotions, I could also get into my physical body too. If I treat my physical body, I may not be able to touch into my emotic state, them all perfectly. If any of these lower stones are out of balance, what happens to the top stone? It shakes, it wiggles, it moves. This is what your body is. There's another layer down here. There are other layers down here. Your energy body, your emotional body, your spirit body, your bliss body, your all these different parts of self. If I start messing with some of these, I can realign all of these, right? So the energy body is pretty far down here. I guess that's the quickest, that's the most direct response, I think. What do we do with our energy body is focus on finding balance and alignment and clearing and protecting our energy body so that it can naturally align the rest of our bodies. Yes, my friend. I can't tell what the other one says. Exposed. Red exposed. Yes. So most of my content is on YouTube. I go live on YouTube. I am at Move with Change on all the platforms. And if I'm not on a platform, let me know and I'll fucking start a thing over there because the algorithms on the different platforms like to hide my content. They like to take down my content. They like to tell me that it's not eligible for FYP, that there's QR codes in my content, that all kinds of stuff. But the reality is that it's important for you to be and I don't say this because of me, but I mean it just in general. If the algorithm is actively hiding a creator like myself who is sharing this stuff with you guys, take heed. I am not trying to make money off of you. So TikTok doesn't like me because you're not putting enough gifts into here for TikTok to push my stuff. I'm not making memberships and whatnot on the other things because I'm not trying to give this stuff to you guys. I'm not trying to have you filter your money through these things. But it's important information. Angelina, you asked me the same question yesterday. If you would like to have a conversation about specific asanas and different kinds that you enjoy, I'm happy to have that, but asking the same questions in different lives is not constructive to the conversation. Yeah. I'm happy to talk about asanas during Tiny Yoga on Fridays or in our Discord, and you're more than welcome to join our Discord for free. Slowly, yes. So I'm at Move the Change because it is power, Citrine. Yes. The ones that I am sharing with you guys that have mudras in them, that have energy work in them, that have that kind of stuff in them, those are the ones that they take down and attack the most. So I created a Discord so that I can share this stuff with you guys without the algorithm taking the shit down. Come join the Discord. You can find that link in my Patreon page. But wait, I'm getting all sidetracked into a whole nother thing. We are talking about our Kaleshvara Mudra. Today, I invite you to come on a journey with me. Today, I invite you to come on a journey with me. It is okay if you feel like you cannot meditate. It is okay if you feel like you cannot visualize things. I'm I'm going to tell you a story. And if you sit with your eyes closed with me and listen to the story, I guarantee you will receive a gift. There is a gift for you in there. Even if you feel like you can't meditate, even if you feel like you're not good enough, even if you feel like it's not something you're the best at, right? Set aside judgment, set aside shame, set aside fear and doubt. This is not the space for those things. We're going to sit with our mudra. And even if you don't have the opportunity to close your eyes, if you have to keep your eyes open, then go ahead and just hold on to the mudra. The mudra will benefit you, I guarantee it, if you hold it for the minimum of 5 minutes. So, how do we do our mudra? Hopefully, for those of you who have been here throughout the week, you're already over there getting your mudra ready. If not, here it is. So, thank you, James. The Kaleshvara Mudra, the mudra for opportunity, the mudra that translates into the Lord of Time, the mudra that aligns us with the larger cycles of time within ourselves and out in the universe. Palms facing each other. Touch the pads of your middle fingers together, okay? Tuck in your pointer, your ring finger, and your pinky, and close them. Bring them together as best you can. Remember that it's okay if you can't quite get the mudra perfectly. That's not the point. The point is your intention and your attention. Bring your thumbs at the pads together so you've got a nice little heart with a crown on it, right? A little heart with the crown. This is the Kaleshvara Mudra, the mudra for opportunity. Bring this mudra to rest, anchor it to your sternum, here at your heart. And when you do so, give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a roll, and make sure your elbows, release your elbows. You can flap your wings a little bit. I find somehow, some way, that helps. Stephen, hello, my friend. Keep your elbows hanging beside. Anchor your mudra without tension. Don't try to pop your knuckles here. You can keep the mudra open like that, or you can close it more like with your hands like this, if that works for you. If it's not quite, you can't get quite wide like that, it's okay to go like this. Remember that it's important for you to honor where you are in this moment. Get as close as you can to the mudra and anchor it to your chest. Close your eyes, and we will begin with 3 deep breaths, as we always do. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and all the way into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. And sigh it out. Inhale once more, expanding the ribcage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Really fill the chest cavity. Hold at the top. Take a little more air in. A little more. A little more. A little more. And release. Keeping your eyes closed, just rest your awareness on your breath. I invite you to follow the inhale all the way to the top and follow the exhale all the way to the bottom. Take several breaths in this way, just listening to the breath. Inhaling, listening to the inhale, following it all the way to the top. Exhaling, following the breath all the way to the end. If your mind runs off with itself, simply bring your awareness back to your breath. Whenever you notice that your mind has gone elsewhere, just refocus. Hello, breath. Hello, inhale. Hello, exhale. As you continue with your inhales and exhales, I invite you to set an intention for your practice. Your intention can be anything that you would like to set, that you would like to focus on. It can be complex. It can also be simple. I do encourage you to choose something very simple, like experience this mudra, or just stay present, or get whatever gifts this ridiculous practice has in it, right? whatever intention. Choose your intention. Take a deep breath in, inhaling your intention. And as you exhale, release your intention and release any tension in the body along with it. Inhale your intention and release any tension. So you're not just following the breath now. Now with each inhale, you're either speaking your intention out loud or simply thinking it to yourself. And with each exhale, allowing your body to soften, searching for places in your body where there's tension that still exists. Maybe your neck is kind of a little bit kinked. Inhale your intention and exhale that tension in your neck. It's okay if it doesn't go away completely. Keep breathing. Exhale, softening your jaw, your cheeks, softening your brow. Inhale your intention. Soften your ears and the back of your head. Inhale your intention. Exhale the tension from your shoulders all the way down to your elbows. Inhale your intention. Exhale any tension remaining in your chest, in your rib cage, even in your belly. Inhale your intention. Relax all tension in your back, all the way down your back. Exhale all that tension. Keep going. Anytime you notice your mind has wandered off with itself away from the present practice of inhaling your intention and exhaling any tension, any chatter in the mind, any distraction, simply refocus. Refocus. No need to give it any of your attention. No need to fight with it because that is giving your attention. Just bring your attention back to your intention and releasing tension. As you continue to breathe, inhaling your intention, exhaling any tension, I invite you to become aware of the rhythm of your breath. Not just the inhale, not just the exhale, but the exchange of the rhythm of the inhale and exhale, creating a kind of rising and falling of your chest, of your heart, and with this mudra anchored here, the mudra also rises and falls on your breath. Go ahead and release your intention. Go ahead and release the practice of releasing tension. And now rest all of your awareness on your mudra, on the rise and fall of your mudra as it is carried on your breath with your heart. all of your attention, all of your awareness on your mudra, on the rise and fall of your mudra, and anytime your mind starts to walk away, you return to your mudra. As you sit with this rise and fall of your mudra, imagine that this mudra is a little boat and you are sitting inside of it. Focus on the rhythm, the rise and fall of the mudra, and see if you can expand your awareness of this rhythm to feel as if you are sitting in this mudra, in this boat, with the same rise and fall. And if this boat you are sitting in is on this rhythm of rising and falling, then it must be on the water. Notice now that through your heart runs a river. Notice which direction this river might be going. You may have just received a very quick image of a river running through your heart. Take note if that river is running in through the front of your heart and out through the back, or in through the back and out through the front. Be with this river that runs through your heart. This rhythm, rise and fall of this little boat that you sit inside of. The ebb and flow of the breath and this mudra. The ebb and flow of the breath and this mudra. The rise and fall of this little boat with you inside. The river flowing through your heart, carrying this little boat. Keep breathing. Stay with this sensation for several breaths. This river that flows through you is the river of life, of time, of experience, the flow of the universe, flowing right through you. Take a big deep breath in. Exhaling to release all tension. Relax into the knowing that the river of time flows freely through you. Feel the rise and fall, the sensation of riding the waves of this river, of being on, in this river, in this flow. You are already aligned. You are already exactly where you need to be, in exactly the right moment. Relax, releasing any tension, any fear that you are not guided by divine timing. Release the tension of worry that you haven't got it right, or you missed something, or you're running late. These are finite constructs. You are perfect right here, right now. And everything fixed and broken around you. Everything good and bad, light and dark, big and small, scary and exciting, is all exactly where it needs to be. Everything is exactly as it needs to be right now. Keep breathing into that sensation. Soak up that knowing, allowing it to permeate every fiber of your being. Feel the rise and fall, the ebb and flow, the flow of time, the flow of life. And like water, the flow always leads us home. I encourage you to stay with this meditation or with any other part of this meditation that you would like to, for as long as is available to you. This is a mudra that you can hold as long as you would like to. When you feel complete, I invite you to take a big, deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Release your mudra and either bring your hands together into prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice, in gratitude for that divine prana, that flow of life that is forever carrying us home. Yes, there are twists and turns and tidal waves and waterfalls, but there is always a direction, always an innate knowing the way. Gratitude, gratitude, that while I may feel lost, the universe knows. Offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. You are so fucking worth it, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you showed up today. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. When you are ready to completely come out of meditation, please do so slowly. Offer yourself some gentle wiggles and stretches. Only open your eyes when you're really sure that you want to commit to coming back to this reality. If you're not ready to come back to this reality, stay in meditation. Hey, Nikki. How are you, sis? There was a time when I was writing stories about the things that were going on in my head and in my heart. And in one of these particular stories, I was in a boat in the middle of the ocean. No oars, no land in sight. It didn't matter that I didn't have oars because I didn't know fucking which way to paddle, right? You ever been that stage in your life where you feel like you're literally in the middle of nowhere with nobody and nothing to do and I have no idea which direction I'm supposed to go. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in life. And we feel lost when we lose our sense of direction, our sense of purpose. In that space, almost lost hope. I almost lost hope. So I wrote a story about her. About hell and hope, which were my representations of my good, bad, angel, devil sort of thing, right? And hell, she was telling me that we don't need hope anymore because hope is who got us out here. If we had just stayed near the shore, stayed safe, followed the rules, not hoped for something different or something more, then we'd be safe. We wouldn't be in this predicament. At that point in the story, hope was literally draped over the side of the boat. Too weak to pull herself back in, because hope was who paddled us all the way out in the middle of nowhere. And hell was like, fuck that. Fuck her. Like, I don't want her back in the boat. I don't want to do this. I remember this moment in depression, in creative expression, trying to understand the depths of my depression. And I heard hell very clearly that she did not want hope back on the boat. But without hope, there is no discovery. Without hope, there is not opportunity. Well, there is. We just don't see it unless we see through the eyes of hope. I'm grateful in that moment that I did not kick hope off the boat. Citrine, that's really lovely to hear. I really love that. I just saw that in my mind's eye. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to feel lost. It's easy to forget that we are in the middle. We are this tiny little speck in the middle of this expansive creation all around us. And we live in this illusionary little matrix of time, so we have to wait for our shit to manifest to some degree. That, like, things move in a certain direction to some degree. We have to ride this river all the way to the end. But so many of us choose to cling, choose to try to get out of the river, right? Tries to hold on to the bank, try to grab a rock. How many times in my life I have seen something beautiful in this river, and I have wrapped my arms around it and held on tight and thought, I just need a rock. I just need a fucking rock to not feel so taken away by life. But when you do that, as soon as we begin holding, this is why we create suffering when we create tension, when we create holding, when we start holding and attaching ourselves to things. Why it creates suffering is because the river of life has a direction, has a flow, has a movement to it. And as soon as I attempt to become static in the middle of movement, in the middle of a moving river, it's like if I were to suddenly stop in the middle of a moving crowd, what would happen? I'd get fucking trampled. Because the current itself, the flow itself, has a life of its own, has a mind of its own, has a vision of its own. This is something I've been telling myself a lot lately because I struggle with anxiety and PTSD and some other things. I have been taking 5 minutes every day. Ooh, Citrine, I really like that. Your eyes saw your heart river like a crazy straw, bursting out from twists and turns. I'm curious, did it come out both sides, the front and the back? Was it moving in a direction? This was what was really interesting to me about this meditation, because I noticed at different times I saw a different river, and I noticed different feelings to if I direct the river from my back forward versus the other way as well. That's why I asked. I'm really curious to see what people came up with during that. But I've been telling myself lately, in these moments of worry, as the universe is building my future, my purpose around me, right? As the kingdom is being built all around me, what I see right now are half-built things. And I'm not even sure what they are yet, or what they look like, or where I'm headed, or what the fuck the end goal is, right? I am limited in my perception and in my knowing, and therefore I can only know so much about the end goal, end game, where we're headed here. How am I supposed to get to my purpose? How am I supposed to arrive home at my home if I don't even know what my home looks like, or how to get there, or where the road, where to turn left and right? This is like the entire experience of life, is like, I gotta get home, but I have no fucking map. I don't know what home looks like. I don't know how to get there. I don't know how far it is. I don't know how tall it is. I don't know what it smells like. I don't know how to, I try to leave breadcrumbs and I fucking birds eat them, right? Like, we are all in this predicament. It's why everybody wants to talk about manifestation. How do I harness this thing? Five minutes every day. I put myself in a little bit of an awareness, I guess, meditation. I look around at everything in my house, everything where I am. Every little thing, not scanning it, but I notice the words on the books and how men count the books there, and notice the box under the computer, right? Notice all the little angles and the corners and the dots and the specks of dust. Notice all of it. And then say to yourself, my friend, everything is all in place. Everything is perfectly in place. And invite you, when you do, to cultivate a kind of excitement, as if tomorrow morning Santa Claus is going to come. The tooth fairy, leprechauns, right? Whatever the heck it is. The fairies, the fae, the unicorns, right? The magic of life is going to manifest itself right there in your living space, in your mundane world. I invite you to cultivate that feeling within you when you look around your world and say to yourself, everything is perfectly set up. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is going to be so exciting. And then who cares what happens tomorrow? Because you've already set yourself up on a good foot. You've already set yourself into a reality that is magical, where you are looking for the magic. New again, thank you, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for subscribing. FYI, I do have subscriptions here on TikTok, but if you would like to receive, there's not really a lot of benefit from subscribing here, except that you support me, which I really do appreciate. If you would like to receive benefits from your subscriptions, go to the Patreon page on patreon.com/@movewithchange. If you purchase a subscription through there, then you actually get benefit along with the subscription. And you can find the link for my Patreon in my bio. My foot's asleep. It is in our desperation for knowing. It is in our frustration with the unknown and our curiosity about the why and the how and that often creates our suffering. That is why I talk about playfulness. Because when we approach our experience, our world, time itself, with curiosity and wonder, then we no longer tarry with, well, what's tomorrow going to look like? Is it going to be bad or good? Am I going to be able to pay that bill? Am I ever going to find somebody to love me? Am I ever going to figure out this thing? Am I ever going to get healing? Am I ever going to have the dream life I want? Am I ever going to find my purpose? Thanks, prefrontal cortex, for doing all of that thinking. Time for you to chill out. I'm going to move back to my theta brainwave time. When I looked at the world and the world was brightly colored and curious and magical. And the tiniest little thing, the tiniest little moment captivated all of my senses. This is what mindfulness is. Children are epic meditators. Thank you, Gigi. If you ever want to see what authenticity looks like, go hang out with a toddler. Go hang out with a toddler, especially a toddler who doesn't already have some pretty serious trauma first, right? Like, we all have early trauma. We all do. They're the building blocks that make us who we are. They are the steps that take us away from home so we can later return to home. It's a beautiful gift packaged in some really shitty wrapping paper, I understand. But if you ever want to see divinity in its full expression here in this finite world, yes, you can look out into the world and see it in every blade of grass, in the songs of the birds, in the rays of the sun, in the rain falling on the ground, and every of those things, yes. But through the channel, the human channel, the conduit, meat bag conduit, go hang out with a child. Go hang out with a toddler. They will tell you with zero doubt that they are the masters of their reality and that they know everything there is to know. My favorite thing to do, I used to work with children for a long time, was when a child would ask me why. I would counter and I would say, I'm not sure. What do you think? The beauty, the freedom that is available to the curious mind, to the open mind, is exponential. We are born with thousands more synapses in our brain. Synapses are the connections that are made when you learn to talk, walk, breathe, fart, ride a bike, drive a car. These are synapses, these habits that we create. When I have a trigger that gets a reactive kind of trigger, that's a synapsis that has to make a connection to make that thing happen. As adults, so often asking questions, people think you're being challenging. No, I'm curious. Same. There's a meme somewhere out there that a friend of mine sent me many, many years ago, and there's adults in the background, right? In the foreground, there's some kids playing in a sandbox, and there's an adult in the sandbox with the kids, and the other adults are sitting back there, and there's little bubbles over their heads that say, like, politics, relationships, work, financial issues, blah, 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 right? And there's one adult in the sandbox with the kids, and the kid says to the adult, Mom, you can go hang out with the adults now, and Mom says, please don't make me. This is why I worked with kids for so long. I choose the sandbox as well. And if I'm not in the sandbox, I'm poking the matrix, which usually either pisses people off or helps me find my people. I moved to this tiny little town here, and I completely fell in love. I have been intentionally searching for tiny towns for my entire life. I've been all over the fucking world looking for them. And I found this one. And you know why it sticks? Because there's humans here just humaning around. I can go out to the local karaoke and I am not going to run into peopling. There might be like one person peopling in there and you can hear everybody kind of groaning under their breath about this one person who's trying to people because everybody else is just kind of humaning. Like, yeah, karaoke's fun. Can we all go hang out and talk, shoot the shit about, like, you know, both in-depth, curious stuff? Or, hey, can I ask you a question about the why you're missing half your leg and this crazy Hawaiian shirt you got on? You got, like, you're a character. Who the hell are you, right? So I'll go up and I can ask the human about their humanness. And the human meets me with humanity. It's not available everywhere. We're too often too afraid to come out from behind our ego, to look over the wall. And there's, you know what? Valid reason for that. I always say I would never push somebody on this path because it can be really scary to come out from behind your sense of security. To be vulnerable in a world that a lot of times meets vulnerability with harshness. But I have never met a brave, mean person. It takes strength to be vulnerable in the face of arrogance, ego. It takes strength to speak your truth in the face of lies. We do not gain courage by hurting ourselves, by forcing ourselves to do things that are causing ourselves pain or suffering. You break trust with yourself when you do that, to some degree. But are there some things that are dangerous and scary that we need to just leap the fuck over and move ourselves out of? Yeah. Sometimes we choose to stay within the confines of toxicity and fear and insecurity because it's familiar. No, it's not good. It doesn't feel good, but it's familiar. And the first time you try to get out of this, you oftentimes find yourself back in another situation that looks the exact same. Why? Because it's familiar. Are you creating drama and chaos in your life? Are you just a fucking whatever, right? Not in and of itself. But you're also not purely a victim of circumstance. That river of time, that river of experience, life force flows directly through you. Life is carrying you in directions and doing things, carrying you forward. It is your choice what to do with your time on that river, in that river. And I just always want to remind you that there is something to learn. There is something to receive, both in a life of vulnerability and higher purpose. There is something to receive there, absolutely. There is equally something to receive by choosing a life of fear and pain. In fact, I commend those who continually choose fear and pain, because there are profound gifts in the bottom of those shit barrels. My brain just shifted to offering not just gratitude, but seeing the people in my life who have been in my life, who are struggling, who are choosing pain, who are choosing fear, who are choosing suffering for themselves and the people around them. And there are so many times when I was angry at these people and wanted to change these people, or wanted to get people back for the things they've done, right? There's so many different. But this is what it's like to look through the eyes of love. Is to see somebody in choosing their suffering, choosing pain and suffering for themselves. And to be in awe of that process for them. It's not easy, but life lessons are still teaching. Life lessons are always teaching. And it doesn't matter which lessons you choose. It's your life to choose whichever lessons you choose. There are gifts inside of all of them. But if you want to choose not the gift at the bottom of the shit barrel, if you don't want to have to dig through all of that to find a little trinket, you have to first recognize that you are choosing to dig through shit to find your trinkets. And that can be a really hard blow to the ego. And that's why I say I'd never push anybody down this path, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of vulnerability. It takes a lot of love and compassion. Citrine, it's work. Yes, and it's acceptance. There is always the duality, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine to all the things, right? So yes, in some ways we must push through our work, our fears and our egos and our push. But we cannot simply push, or we will spin ourselves in circles. Instead, we also have to accept. I accept, and I move forward. I work and I accept. I accept what I don't have, what doesn't need me to work on it, right? I accept that not everything needs to be worked on. I accept that not everything needs to be seen and talked about and rehashed a million times. This I can work on. This I can accept. Oftentimes we find ourselves just work. I'm not fucking getting anywhere. Because there are things that we need to accept as well to balance that out. And when we shift our brain in that way, it reminds us that it's not all work. A really great example are these mudras. If this mudra, the Kaleshvara Mudra, is difficult for you, it doesn't take work for you to get to this mudra. It takes acceptance. Accept where you are. Hold the mudra as best you can in that position. Accept where you are and breathe into it. In your acceptance, there is a tension, there is a release, in your non-acceptance, you build tension. When I am sitting in meditation and my brain walks off with itself to worry about something from yesterday, that creates a kind of tension all by itself. It pulled my awareness away. Fuck, my awareness is otherwise here, right? So this creates tension. If I want to create more tension, I'm going to look at that thought and I'm going to go, God damn it, I was trying to meditate here. What the fuck? My brain is just messing with me. I just can't meditate. You know what? This is stupid. I should just give this up. I've never been good enough at this. Blah, 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 blah. Look at all of that tension you just created because this one little thought came out this way. It's like a mental fart. Your brain let off some gas and you chased down the stink. What's that smell? And you created all this tension over here. In meditation, we don't seek to create tension, right? We want to not create tension. So when I am sitting in meditation and my little brain fart happens and it wanders off, floats away with itself and stinks up my airspace, right? My mental space, I accept that farts happen, mental farts and otherwise. And I let it dissipate on its own because I do not create more tension. I do not attach myself to it and do not do any of the things with it, for it, whatever. I let it disappear like it wasn't me. It wasn't my fart. Citrine, me too. The gentle redirect. I imagine a sweet old lady's voice. I don't know where she came from, but when I discovered this in meditation and she started coming up, it was just this like, whoop. She's almost amused, right? She's like trying to herd cats because our brains are like fucking wild cats or monkeys, right? Like it's insane up there sometimes. And she is this sweet little Mary Poppins who goes, whoop, and pulls one back into the box. I don't know. Suddenly I was like, thinking of those Stephen King things, you know, the little fluffy Stephen King things. Thanks, Beck Luke, for putting Stephen King in my brain. Like every one of these little gremlins. I've got a bunch of Mogwai in my brain, and they want to turn into gremlins. If I give them attention, if I feed them, if I water them, they turn into gremlins and start attacking and feel like they attack me and get louder and meaner. But if I accept that Mogwai are just kind of chatty sometimes, and I let them chatter away in the background, eventually that chatter becomes quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. Acceptance is a powerful tool. Acceptance is sometimes harder than the work. If I'm doing something about it, then I feel like I'm treating it, I'm trying to work on it, so I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I'm doing, right? I'm doing. You're a human being. Your greatest strength, your greatest power is in your ability to be, not in your ability to do. In fact, you are most effective when you wait for the right moment to do, and you choose being first. Thank you, friend. So, for those of you who are just joining us, hello. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your shenanigan shaman. I lead 4 live classes a week for free here on TikTok, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, sometimes Facebook and Instagram, and wherever else I can get the live going to. Beyond these free classes, we have been, because I haven't been doing it by myself, we've been cultivating a Sangha. We've been cultivating a mindfulness community online. A space where you can show up just as you are, no matter where you are on this journey. If this is all new to you, but you just came in and you're like, this resonates, I feel this, come join the Discord. It's free. I offer more resources and playful shenanigan things in there too, in the free space. I build upon the classes that I offer for free in the Discord. If you want to interact with me, ask questions, talk about things, Angelina, you want to talk about glute isolation exercises particularly, then we can come into the Discord and we can chat at length about them. Once you're in what we call the CAYA courtyard, thank you, Cher. Once you're in the CAYA courtyard, you'll notice that there is a inner temple, the Sangha. This is our CAYA Sangha. CAYA, C-A-Y-A, stands for come as you are. Because that's the ultimate goal, is coming home to ourselves. And if you're home, then you're in your authenticity. Most of us haven't made it home yet, and don't fucking know how to get there and are somewhere in the middle of this journey. And usually we've been doing it alone for a while. This time has come to talk of many things, of shoes, of straps, of shoes, of sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. The time has come for us to come together. Enlightenment is not something just for one of us. It is process for all. And if you've been doing this work for a while, I invite you to join us and share where you've been. We can all learn and grow from each other. So within the Sangha, I offer group coaching sessions twice weekly. I offer a weekly practice session, group practice session. And then there's also different tiers of membership that can get you into private practice sessions, private coaching sessions, energy work, astrology, herbalism, nutrition. I'm a death doula or a death midwife and a birth doula. I've worked all the way across the lifespan. I have worked across my entire lifespan, building an amazing box of tools. Tools that have allowed me to realign, heal myself, and grow in such exponential ways. If it wasn't for these tools, I wouldn't be in this me bag. I wouldn't be in this physical reality. Hamster, one thing I don't know or don't do is the terms for things. I have been doing this work since the 90s. Since the 90s. And a lot of the terms people use for things were not around when I was doing that stuff. Now, if you're talking about like a traditional something, but I'd love to hear about it. I'd love if you want to come join the Discord, Hamster, and we can chat about it, because this is the thing, right? I have been doing the internal physical work of a lot of this stuff, and the acceptance of a lot of this stuff, and I'm only now being able to share, only now being able to speak about it. And so I kind of feel like it's a little funny, because sometimes I'll talk to somebody and they'll go, "Oh, you mean you're doing internal family systems?" And I go, "I don't know what that is." And they go, yeah, some psychologists came up with internal family systems like a decade before you were born. Oh, I thought I came up with that shit. Damn it. I mean, fantastic. So sometimes I don't know what the term is for it, but when we talk about it, yeah, I'm happy to share what I understand, what I've experienced, and what I've learned along the way. Because these things have literally saved my life. They have literally changed my life. And I am here now to share all of these fucking tools with you guys. Thank you, friend. But, like I said, the algorithm, the platforms, they don't like it. They don't want me to share this stuff. One, they don't want me to share it for free. They want you to pay through their platforms. Do you pay for memberships in the Discord? At different levels, yes. But I am always flexible when it comes to that paper cloth bill thing, because it's not the end-all be-all of value. And the world is changing. And the way we relate and exchange with each other is changing. So let's be on the forefront of that. Let's build community. Let's come together. Let's hold space for each other honestly, without judgment and without fear. Let's practice being in our authenticity and in our vulnerability. I've got an awesome fucking group of people. I love all of you guys, both here, but also in the Discord. I'm especially filled with such gratitude for the people that are coming in to the Discord. the things that you're sharing, the things that you're asking, the things that were, the conversations that are being sparked, the space being held together. I have I have little things like we have a CAYA dance hall. It's a 24/7 dance hall. You can go in and you can play music and people can come in and dance with you. You can leave your camera off or on. It doesn't matter. It's just a space to share and be silly with each other and to play. I also have a CAYA cultural exchange, and this I'm really excited about because we have a couple of members who speak different languages, and they have already been bugging me saying, hey, when can we get into the culture exchange so we can teach each other Spanish or other languages, right? We have a member from, Pakistan, that's right, and he's going to teach us some language as well. It is so beautiful. Especially in this day and age where everybody wants to fucking bicker with each other. Everybody wants to say how I'm better than you and you're doing this wrong and I'm doing this wrong. Everybody's got fingers to point. It is that much more powerful in a time when we are all out there. People are out there doing that for you to be radically different. Like you said, show up and ask questions and people think you're being rude. Because they're so unused to curiosity, being met with curiosity, that they're offended. So offend them. Show up with curiosity. Smile in the face of adversity. Poke the matrix a little and choose a funny voice when you're checking out at the grocery store. Crouch down in the park when a kid is looking at the... whatever it is. Clovers, there we go. And join them in their curiosity and wonder. That is where the magic is. Hamster, Spanish and Sanskrit. Yes. So I'm also learning Sanskrit, and I have a couple good resources for it, but we don't have a person yet. So if anybody who's listening now knows how to speak Sanskrit and you would like to come into the Discord, please do so. We would love to have that kind of exchange. Citrine, yes, they want us divided. We need this community. The thing is, they want us divided not just because we are stronger in community, we are stronger together, yes. Because if you found your strength, if you found the divinity that flows through you, and you recognized how perfect and powerful and aligned you already are, there would be no way to manipulate you. There would be no way to control you. So much of what goes on in our world right now comes to us through manipulation. It's fucking terrible. I have to raise my son. I chose to raise my son in a time where I have to explain to him that it's not safe to go to the grocery store because there's poison on the grocery store shelves. It's not safe to just casually watch something on a screen because there's subliminal things being woven into them to make you lose sight of who you are and how powerful you are. It's pervasive. I've been studying this since the 90s. Media manipulation since the 90s. And it's been getting fucking worse. But you can. You can, and you will if you choose to. Take your power back. You abso-fucking-lutely can. And when you first get close to the edges of that power, it's going to feel scary. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And that is all the more reason we need each other. Because when I show up in my authenticity, when I show up truly in my power, and I'm around people who would not want to see me in my power, what will they do? But they will seek to dampen my light in some way or another. And that it's not even in and of itself a mean thing. They're doing it out of security and safety and familiarity. And I might have accepted that for many years because of this. But when I practice being in my authenticity around people who are able and willing and eager to hold space, to see me in that place, to allow me to feel uncomfortable and sweat a bit when I'm doing it, practice. because then I can show up in the world truly confident in my authenticity. And when someone tries to poke at it or push it down, I'll go, oh, you're afraid of yours. And I can love them through it instead of hiding mine again, instead of covering back up again. It's so scary. I waver but push through. You used to feel alone. I'm glad you don't. I'm glad that's an I used to. The point is to make you feel alone. Not of this stuff. The point of all that is to make you feel alone. To isolate you from your truth, from your power, from your authenticity, from your divinity, from your intrinsic unity with everything in the universe. I love you so much. Come join us on the Discord. Remember to find the link for the Discord. You got to go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. You can get the free link to join the Discord, or you can also grab a level of membership depending on how deep you want to get into the Sangha. If you want private coaching sessions with me, if you want private yoga classes, private meditations, things like that with me, there are memberships for that. If you want to just join the group practice sessions once a week, there's a membership for that. I specifically, intentionally broke the membership up into tiers. Now, people want to argue with me on both sides of the aisle. People say, no, choose one membership level and keep it at that for everything. The reality is that we can't all hit this membership point, the value for all the shit that I put, all this amazing stuff that I put in the Discord that I offer. I don't want to charge you guys a single thing for it because we're not all the same. I want you all to have your own key to get in the gate of the Sangha. The only reason we have a gate is because that's how we hold sacred space. So I created multiple tiers so you can find the key that fits you, that works for you. And if there's a point at which you can't quite make it to this level, but man, you really want to get into this thing, reach out to me. Like I said, I'm tired of pretending like that paper cloth thing is the end all be all. That is not your access to every fucking thing in this world. So, patreon.com will get you the links for all of my social accounts. Go follow me, please. Please go follow me on YouTube because that's when that's where the replays are, and that's the channel I'm cultivating and trying to build the most. Come join us in the Discord. You'll find the memberships on Patreon as well. If you have any questions about anything, if you would like a direct link to something and you're like, I don't know how to find any of the things, please just send me a link. I will also do that too. Send me a message on any of the platforms. You can also email me at rev@movewithchange.com. Citrine, I like that puddle people. Jackie, come to the Sangha. You said you already joined. You joined the Discord. Then come into the Sangha. Come into the courtyard chat and bring us what you are carrying. The thing is we often believe that we have to carry things for other people. Are you able to see the other channels, Jackie? Here's the thing. When you guys join the Discord, I'm going to make an intro video, an orientation video that'll hopefully make this easier. Once you join the Discord, you've got to go to the Start Here channel and scroll all the way to the top. There's a little verification button. Jackie, feel free to send me a message in there if you need some help seeing all the channels, and I can guide you to that. Because we have our CAYA cocoon space, which is like if you need to just talk to somebody, if you need to hang out with somebody, then you just come in. It is a strength. And we are intentionally cultivating a space where you can show up when you're melting down. Where you can show up when your authentic state is angry. Where you can call somebody and say, I'm having a fucking anxiety attack. Will somebody just sit with me for a second? Once we have members who I have vetted for this purpose, I intend to have a CAYA hotline, crisis hotline in there. So that somebody can just turn on the voice channel and say, I need some fucking help right now. I need some fucking support. That's what community really is for. Community is not showing up only when you're at your best, my friend. I know, Jackie, I do the same thing. I often isolate when I'm struggling, and that is a trauma response. We are not isolated creatures. We thrive together. We will survive on our own, but we will thrive together. And I'm done being in survival mode, guys. It is time for thrival mode. We're going to kick it up a gear, and we're going to move into thrival mode. We do that together. Okay? We do that together. We can't do that together on social media platforms while they're actively trying to fight and keep us apart. Right? Actively trying to separate us, divide us, isolate us. Come to the Discord. That's the start. I have really, really, really big plans moving forward, hopefully to create our own app. So it's a closed, safe space. Not on a public thing like Discord. Yes, our place, our whatever it's called, server is closed. But I'm going to take it even further. Thankful for the time when I've been able to reach out to the community. Yeah. Times. Yes. It is not just me being there for everybody. It is everybody being there for everybody. I have never once seen anybody show up to any of our events, classes, or the feed and have a negative response when they're being vulnerable, and I don't think I've seen anybody have a fucking negative response anyway. And I also teach nonviolent communication. So if at any point you're in this space, we also have people in here who are going to help us move collectively through Discord. Discord, that joke. When we're not agreeing with each other, when we run into things, when we run into difficulties, those things aren't going to just go by the wayside like they do on other social media platforms. We come together to help each other move through these difficult, stuck places. One is all is one, meaning one is all. To be one takes all there is within. We are drops in the ocean, but we are also the ocean itself. Micro, macro. Everything I experience outside of me is directly related to what I'm experiencing inside of me. That is why the practice of holding space for somebody else heals me too. Okay, I really do have to go because we have group coaching. We've got a group coaching session here at noon. So in about a half hour. In about a half hour, we have one of our group coaching sessions. If you would like to just pop into the group coaching session, you are welcome to so the first several memberships all have a 7-day free trial. The membership from Sangha Sages and above does not have a 7-day free trial, and the reason for that is because you get open access to all of my workshops at that level, and I'm not willing to give all that stuff away for free for 7 days. But if you want to come in for 7 days to check out the Sangha, to join the group practice session and group coaching session, there's 7-day free trial for that. So if you want to come in and get in on our group coaching session in a half hour, go to the Patreon page and select a membership. Get you onboarded into Discord. I will keep an eye on the Discord so I can help people who need to get in, and we will get you into the Zoom call, okay? Okay, I'm going to go because I'm going to go have some breakfast. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the Discord. I will see you Monday morning for our next Bhakti Bite session if you choose not to join the Discord, because you don't have to join the Discord. But do me a favor and do go follow me on all the platforms that you use. Follow the Patreon page so you can get updates and things like that. I love you too, Jackie. I look forward to seeing you all in all the places. Okay. All right. Now, I've got so many lives open, I gotta one by one. Good night, Kick. Good night, Twitch.